Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sustainable Supply Chain International Competition. This is our first webinar on edition 2019 in Sustainable Aquaculture. I'm Catherine Flynn, and my colleague, Lena Lindner, is also an organizer of this webinar. But we also have with us today some of our colleagues from the University of Bologna. You see their logo here, and they are involved in this edition 2019 on sustainable aquaculture. I want to say a word about the logos that you see on the slide. You see ISEKI-Food Association, that's the organization where Lena and I work, and the organizers of the Sustainable Supply Chain Competition. But when you go to the aquaculture site, you see European Food Star. And European Food Star is a project of ISEKI. You also will see often the University of Bologna logo because they are co-organizers in the sustainable aquaculture. And you see Next Food, and Next Food is a Horizon 2020 project that is funding improvement of sustainable supply chain competitions. And Next Food is funded, of course, by the H2020 program of the European Union. So now you understand all of the logos on our slide. The next slide, let's see, is going to tell you how you use this GoToWebinar control panel. And I'll let Lena tell you about that.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to see all of you and happy to welcome you to this webinar also. I will just shortly go through with you how you will be using the GoToWebinar, because that is the tool that we are going to use for the several webinars to be accompanied in this competition. So you see your control panel, and as this is a webinar, all of your microphones are muted per default, but we would very much welcome you to ask questions, to be interactive, and therefore you're very welcome to click the hand button. You can raise your hand if you have anything to ask, anything to say, and exactly, it just
there it is.
Yes, exactly. And then I will open your microphone, and you can ask your question. You can also turn on your webcam so we can see you. That's how it works. If you don't have the possibility to ask a question, if you don't have a microphone, you can also just write it in the questions pane, and I can read it out loud so that everyone can listen to it. Exactly. And also just to inform you, we are recording this session. So if anyone could not be present from your team or any of the other teams, you can watch this webinar afterwards. We will send you the link where it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you will receive the link. Yes, that was what I wanted to say.
Great. Can people turn on their webcam? We would love to see you.
No, I don't think they can, Catherine. They cannot turn it on.
Okay. Okay.
Not as participants. They can only as presenters.
Only as presenters. Okay.
Yeah, I just saw that now. Sorry. So you can only ask questions. We can only hear you.
Darn it. I wanted to see. Okay. Well, we will hear you then. So please go ahead and raise your hand to ask a question. We will unmute your microphone, and you can participate in this webinar with your voice, if not with your picture. So let's go ahead. We'd like to talk about 3 aspects of the sustainable aquaculture competition today. And those are the requirements for participating in this competition, the assignments that will be due, and then any questions or comments that you might have. This is a team competition. So every participant must be part of a team. We have 6 teams participating in sustainable aquaculture, and all have really exciting projects. Each team has between 3 and 5 students and a faculty mentor. And the faculty mentors are also welcome at this webinar and at all the others. And a special note to the mentors that the students might be able to get university credit for participating in this competition. And if you think that's the case and you need our help, please send an email to me at the email address noted there. In order to participate in this competition, you must have a topic, and your topic must be quite specific. It must address a specific problem and propose a solution. And the problem and the solution are for you to decide, but they must be about improving sustainable aquaculture by addressing holistic and measurable quality. Your project must be specific. Some of the registrations were quite general, and so I encourage you here to be sure that your project is specific and focused on a specific problem. And you see here a reminder of how we identify, how we define sustainable, measurable, and quality. Any questions? I'm open for any questions. Just raise your hand. In order to participate,
Sorry, we have one question.
we have a question. Yay!
It's from Alba. Just open your microphone. Go ahead, Alba.
Hello, Alba.
I would like to ask how many teams there were at the beginning before you select the acceptance teams.
Oh, that's confidential.
Okay.
Sorry.
It was worldwide.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
The competition was worldwide.
Yes, it is
Over
worldwide.
Thank you.
We have teams from Europe, from the Middle East, and from the Americas participating in this competition. And we did accept all the teams that met the requirements for registering. Okay? Okay, so the teams that are in the competition met the requirements to register, but the team projects will be evaluated and only one of the teams will be the winner. And the scientific board will decide the winner. And the winner will be decided based on these 3 criteria: the project, the written report, and the PowerPoint presentation. And you see for each of these 3 criteria exactly what will be judged by the scientific board: originality, matching the project to the aim, innovativeness, and potential exploitability. In the written report, we want it to be clear and of good quality. And you see that we will soon have a template for the report available for you. You may remember from the website that the written report is quite short, a maximum of 4 pages. The PowerPoint presentation you will submit to us along with the written report by email, and the presentation will be judged by the scientific board on the clarity and the quality. But then we will also judge your presentation of the presentation. That is, when you do what I'm doing now and you present your slides at the final virtual workshop. And at that workshop, participants will ask you questions as you are asking me questions now. So you will also be judged on your response to those questions. So these are the three criteria that the scientific board will use to choose the winner. And the scientific board is members of the faculty at the University of Bologna, Line and I from ISEKI, and members of aquaculture industry. And you can see the names of the scientific board on the project, on the competition website. There's a tab, Scientific Board, so you can know who are the judges of the competition. And the winner, the winning team has some fabulous prizes. The winning team will have a free registration at Aquaculture 2019, which will be held in Berlin, Germany in September. And the team leader or any other member of the team will give a presentation at that international conference. And the team will go to another international conference, and that's the conference of the Next Food Project in the spring of 2020. And that will be held in Greece. And for that conference, travel, accommodation, and even the gala dinner is included. So the prizes for the winning team are quite nice and include a very good exposure, the opportunity to meet experts in the aquaculture field. Okay. How am I doing, Lina? Anything to add?
Very good. And any questions about the project evaluation? Yes, Amar, just I will open your microphone. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for this course. I just wonder about this will be, is there a certificate at the end of this competition? A certificate?
Yes, very good. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, all of the participants will receive a certificate from ISEKI-Food Association that they successfully completed the competition.
And it
also
will
the
be
winning team.
online?
Right, and the winning team will also receive a certificate. Each member of the team will receive a certificate that they were on the winning team.
Only winner?
No, every team that participates and completes the competition will receive a certificate that they participated in the competition. The winning team will receive a second certificate that they were a member of the winning team.
Okay, and it will be face-to-face or it is just online?
The certificate will be a PDF file that you can print.
Oh.
Is that right, Lina?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions about the evaluation of your project?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, you can proceed.
Okay. As part of the competition, there will be 6 complimentary trainings or webinars, and at least one member of your team should participate in each webinar. Better if all of the team members participate, because you will get valuable information about the competition. So right now, we're in the first webinar, Introduction to the Competition. And here, and also on the competition website, you see the schedule for the other webinars. All of the webinars will follow the same format and use the same software. So you'll get comfortable with this by the end of the competition. So you see that the next webinar is in 3 weeks. It's on 19th of March, also at 1400 Central European time. And at that next webinar, the students will give a presentation. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then you see names and the dates of the other webinars. They're all at 1400 or 2 p.m. European time, so that it's not too early for our teams in the Americas, and it's not too late for our teams in the Middle East, in case you're wondering about the time that we chose. You also notice that one of the webinars, number 5, is called Project Review. And that's a personal webinar. In fact, it will be just you, your team, with me and Lene and Maria Letizia and Alessandra, who are our colleagues at the University of Bologna. And this will be a 30-minute session where you can ask questions and tell us what your project and solution is about. You're almost at the end at this point, and we will help you with any loose ends to make sure that you're ready for the final virtual workshop where you present your project. This final workshop in the week of 11 June, we haven't chosen the date yet. We'll let you know as soon as it's decided. But in this workshop, there will be attendees from industry and academia. The workshop is open to the public, and it will be advertised around the world. And at this workshop, you will give your presentation. So it's quite an opportunity to have a really good exposure for your team and your idea. Any questions about the webinars?
No.
No? I said this schedule is on the competition website, and if by hazard there should be any change to this, we would notify you and also put it on the website. So you always will have the latest information on the competition website. Okay, so let's see. Some related information about these webinars. They are all recorded, and you can watch the recording at the ISEKI YouTube site. You must have a YouTube account. And you will get a link to this, I think it's today or tomorrow when the webinar is over, and you get an automatic message, thank you for attending, and that will have a link to the recording. If you don't want to watch the whole recording and listen to all of it, you can just look at these slides, and these slides will be on the website. During the competition at these webinars, like the next webinar when you are presenting, we will take some photos and we will put that on the competition Facebook site, for example. And all of this is in keeping with the privacy statement of the websites that we're using. And you can see more about this on the competition site. We also are very concerned about your intellectual property. We're asking you to present your most fabulous idea about sustainable aquaculture, and we will respect your intellectual property. All of the members of the scientific board signed a non-disclosure agreement. This means that we will keep your idea confidential. None of us will take your idea and bring it to market as our own. We sign these statements. If you need to see these documents, send an email to the competition and we'll send them to you. You can look at the document that we signed on the website. You see the link. If you think that this document that we signed is not adequate for protecting your idea, you can write another document and ask us to sign it, and we will, as long as you're not asking, for our firstborn child or anything like that. we will sign your request for confidentiality. Are there any questions about intellectual property?
No.
Want to be sure because some of the teams indicated in the registration that they had specific intellectual property requirements,
Yes.
right?
If you have specific questions, you can also email us. If it's something you don't want to ask here, you can email us.
Right, that's true. Good. Good point. Okay. So now we go to the second part of today's review of the competition, and that's about the upcoming assignments. In fact, these are all of the assignments that you have. Your first assignment is for the next webinar, which is on Tuesday, 19th of March. And the next webinar is called the Student Presentation Webinar. And each team will give a 5 to 10 minute presentation. I put 5 to 10 minutes in bold because at 10 minutes we will stop you. We will turn off your microphone. And I put 5 in red because if you can present in 5 minutes, even better. So please make all your effort to keep your presentation short, but still complete, of course. And the presentation is about practical experience that one member of your team had in aquaculture, an internship, a visit, a volunteer, a job, any experience in the aquaculture chain, and you will tell the other teams and the organizers about this experience. If no one on your team had any experience, you still have 3 weeks to get some. Go and visit someplace and take some pictures, and you can make a very nice presentation. If that is impossible, you can tell us about an aspect of aquaculture that is interesting to you. This is the assignment for webinar 2, which will take place on 19 March. The instructions for your presentation are very short. They're what I just said, but you can look at that in writing if you go to the link and you look at complementary trainings, and you can see these instructions.
We have one question from Amar. He asks in which format the presentation should be, if it should be a video or a PowerPoint presentation.
I imagined a PowerPoint, but I think it can be a video. Lina?
Yes, I agree. It can also be a combination. You're very welcome to make it visual, to show a video, and that's
Sure.
up to you.
Also, I will remind you now that this means that the team leader will receive a special invitation for this next webinar. The team leader will receive an invitation to be a presenter at the webinar. And I will say a little more about that later, because as you cannot show your webcam now as a participant, you also cannot show your screen to present.
Yes.
So for this webinar, you will receive a different invitation. Okay, is this good for everyone?
Any questions about the topic or? Yes, we have one question. From Panagiota. The presentation will have to do according to our project proposal that can be applied to a company.
No, I say no to that. And I invite Maria Letizia and Alessandra, who are our co-organizers and here as participants, to comment, please. But I'd say no, it's about practical experience. It does not have to be related to your project.
Yes, I just opened Maria Letitia's microphone. Go ahead, Maria Letitia.
Okay, hello. Hello, I am Letizia, Maria Letizia from Unibo. Pleasure to meet you on webinar today. And again for next webinar on 19 March. And yes, I agree with the colleagues Line and Catherine that the presentation could be as a PowerPoint or a video or a mixed presentation, as you prefer. But I think that it should be, as Catherine said, on a practical experience in aquaculture, in production, in something on aquaculture products, processing, or nutrition, or what you have as experience, as practical experience in aquaculture. And it shouldn't be not necessarily linked to your project, but we should just understand which is your practical experience in this field. And so that if you don't have an experience, we could discuss also together on which aspect of aquaculture are of major interest for you, and in which way you could make a good practical experience in this field.
Yes.
Great, thank you, Maria Letizia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to you.
Are there any other questions? Maybe I can also just add that I will organize with those of you that are giving the presentation test webinars so that we can make sure that everything works well in advance. And also if you have to show a video, that works well so that we don't have any immediate problems during the webinar. And you will also get familiarized with how it works when you're giving a presentation. I think it's clear, the answer also. So.
Okay. Okay, everyone okay to move on to the second assignment?
Yes.
The second assignment that you have is to suggest the topic for the webinar of 16 April. The webinar of 16 April is called the Student Suggestion Webinar. But we are asking you now to give your suggestions because we need the time to find the appropriate experts to give this webinar. So each team should send 3 ideas for a webinar topic by 8 March. That's in 1 week, a little more than 1 week. Send your ideas by email to Maria Letizia, and there is her email address. I suggest you put your ideas in a Word file, not just directly in the email, so that Maria Letizia and the colleagues can look at all of the ideas from the students. The webinar on April 16th will not be able to address all of your suggestions, but we will see which suggestions are most common, most pressing, and which suggestions we have the expertise to address. So this webinar will be what is of interest to you. So your assignment is to tell us what is of interest. And it's each team, not each member, that sends 3 ideas. Maria Letizia, do you want to add anything?
I think that you was really clear. I will receive the suggestions from the students within 8 March, and then with Alessandra and other colleagues, we'll organize the webinar planned for April. So then if you have any doubts, we can contact directly the students by email, I think. And then if the students have some doubts about which kind of ideas they have to suggest, or they want to share some doubts with us before sending the ideas, the main ideas, they can contact me or Alessandra. So I think that you could give also the email of Alessandra, if it's not a problem, because I will be at a project meeting for 3 days next week. So I can stay in contact with Alessandra, and I think that it's quite clear. Yeah.
Okay, I will add Alessandra's email to this slide, and then this slide will be available on the competition website, and the students can look and they will see both emails.
We have one question. So the 3 ideas should be related to aquaculture.
Yes.
Yes. They should be related to aquaculture. Are there any other questions? Yes, we have one question. Are these ideas also related to the general aquaculture chain or directly related to our topic?
No, I think they are the general aquaculture chain. I think important, this question and the one about the student presentation for our next webinar, your topic, I am speaking to all of the teams, your topic is secret. It's your topic. We are not asking you to share it until the very end when you present your results. So you are not required to have ideas for the webinar about your topic, nor to have your presentation about your topic. We want you to work on your topic on your own, in your team, with your faculty advisor. And only in the review in the week of May 6th will you show to the scientific board something about your topic. Until then, we don't want to know, really. Okay, any other questions or comments?
Yes, that's another question. Will it be like innovative ideas like our project topics? Will it also provide description of our ideas like a review?
I think think about how we have to arrange the webinar. We will find somebody with the expertise. So I think your suggestions have to be related to an expertise. Like maybe you want to know about marketing. How do you market sustainable aquaculture products, if this is a topic of interest for you? Or maybe you are interested in the other end of the chain and you want to know about feed. How do you improve feed for aquaculture? And then we'll find someone with expertise in this. I think these are the general guidelines.
Yes.
Yeah?
I agree.
Maria Letizia?
Yes, it's understood. She replied, thank you.
Okay. And I will add that you are not judged on these 3 ideas. So you can be as free, as crazy. What is your dream webinar on sustainable aquaculture? What do you want to know? Okay.
Yes. Wait, I'll just open Maria. Let's just go ahead.
Yes, yes. I would like just to confirm that you have to suggest the topics that you are more interested in sustainable aquaculture. If I think that the problem could be just related to the fact that each team could ask for 3 different topics, and we can have a lot of different topics, and so we have to select the main requested various topics. But in this case, as I said before, I think that we can contact the students, the teams, and then discuss in order to select together the more, how is the more shared topics in, I don't know, from all the teams participating. So we will see when we receive all the suggestions from the students. But these topics should be just topics in sustainable aquaculture, in which students are really interested in, and not necessarily linked to the project, I think. Also, I think that the teams will require specifically some topics useful also to develop the research project. But we will see. I think that we have to receive the suggestions. Then with Alessandra and with you, we will go through the requests. And then if we have some difficulties, we can discuss directly with the teams how to solve some problems.
Good. Yeah.
There's
Thank you.
one question maybe that you can also answer, Maria Letizia, as you will be selecting the questions. How many words or pages should be each idea or suggestion about?
I think, yes, that each idea should be yes, 2 lines.
Yes.
No, yes, 100 characters.
100 characters.
No. Yes, around 2 lines for each idea, I think. Otherwise,
2 lines.
yes. Or if the students want, could also use some keywords. So just 2 lines and 2 or 3 keywords to specify better the specific topic. What do you think, Katerina Lynn?
Yes. Yes, I agree. I think it should be 1 or 2 sentences, 1 or 2 lines to be.
Yes. To be specific, so we can have, it will be easier to understand which are the common topics.
There's one question which is very related to that from Amar. Can the idea be a problem related to aquaculture, like pollution of the environment, relationship between sustainable aquaculture and sustainable development goals for 2030, the UN agenda? I think something like that is relatively
Also
clear.
yes, I think that or yes, food safety and I don't know, yes, or yes, organic farming or innovative feeds.
Yes.
So.
Yes,
Yes.
I think it's clear now. I think we got a thank you from one of the students.
I hope it is clear for students. If they are hearing, they can confirm.
Yes. And any other questions about these suggestions for the topics of the webinar? Yes, so we'll just open your microphone just a second. Yes, go ahead, Amma.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello?
I just wonder about yes, can you hear me? Okay, I have a question about the language of the project. It should be in English, or I can use another language.
Or it should be in English.
In English, okay. Okay, so it has to be in English.
Yeah, we will present to an international audience.
Okay, okay. There's no problem.
We could
Can
not
I
hear
ask?
you.
So this will be only in the webinar. There is no face-to-face lessons.
That's correct. There are only webinars and no face-to-face meeting.
Okay, okay, that's okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We go ahead.
You can go ahead. Yeah, there are no more questions.
Okay. So the third and last assignment that you have is to pick the 30-minute time frame to have a review with me or Line and Maria Letizia or Alessandra. So you will have a review with two of the competition organizers. And you should pick your time during the week of 6 May. And you can see the document with all of the time slots in Google Drive. I sent an invitation to Google Drive to this document to all of the team leaders. You must have a Google account to put your name in this document. So please look at this email, go to the Google Drive and choose the time. And we will confirm this time with you closer to the date. And then during this week of May 6th, you come to this webinar with a review of a draft of your presentation. So some of your slides, I think it's a maximum of 20 slides that you can have in your presentation. And you go over this with us, and this is the opportunity for you to be sure that your presentation is something you will be proud of at the final event. So right now, your assignment is to pick the time. So please go to this Google Drive and choose the time when your team is available. Any questions about this?
No.
I know some of you already did it, I see.
No.
Okay, okay, great. So this is your reminder about our next meeting. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, 19 March. And this is the student presentation webinar. And each team will give a presentation about their practical experience. And the team leader will receive an invitation probably 1 week before, maybe even more than that, Lena, now 2 weeks
Yes.
before. The team leader will receive an invitation in first week of March, let's say, to be a presenter or panelist. And the other members of the team will receive the regular invitation as they did for this webinar. If several members of your team want to give the presentation, because the team leader is not required to give the presentation, that's fine with us. Any member of your team or several of you can give the presentation, but then you must be with the team leader at their computer because only one computer will be able to share on the webinar site. So this is the next time we meet, and you will receive these emails to be sure that you can participate. And you will have, as Lena said, a chance to do a practice with us, one per team, to make sure that you are comfortable with this software, that you know how to give a presentation with this GoToWebinar. So this is our next interaction. Any questions about this?
I think it's clear.
Good.
No questions.
Yeah, okay, great. Great, so we are always available for questions by email, of course. And I ask you now to please fill out the survey. When this webinar is closed, you will get a 5-question survey. Please answer it. If you don't fill it out right away because you absolutely have to run off, then you will be able to link to the survey when you get the email tomorrow saying thank you for attending the webinar, which also will have the link to the recording. But please do the survey. We need it so that we can improve these webinars. And the floor is again open to you for any questions or comments that you might have.
We have one question. We have to use the same computer in the next webinar? No, you don't have to. You can use whichever computer. You only have to, like if you're an attendee, like today, you have to register and then you get the link to join. But if you have to give a presentation, we will send you an invitation to join as a panelist and then you can share your screen. So you can use whichever computer. You don't have to use the same one.
Right. It's only that the person who is giving the presentation is the only person that can share their screen. So if you want to also give the presentation, but you are not the team leader, then you have to be with that person, with the leader.
Yes. But I will contact you to have this sort of test webinar where we can rehearse you giving a presentation and you will see how it works where you share your screen and these things. So don't worry, it will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. There are no more questions.
Maria Letizia, any final comments?
No, I think that I would like just to say goodbye to everybody and welcome to students for this competition. And we will meet the students during next webinar. And so I'm very pleased to work with the teams during this student competition.
Great. Yeah, we are all excited about your projects. So go ahead and work on your problem and its solution, and we are here to help you. Bye.
Good. Thank you very much for attending. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.